Dietrich, thanks for joining us on the All Night Channel. And tell us, first of all, just the organization that is putting this on. You started it. What's the big picture of why you started this?
Absolutely. So this is the National Democratic Training Committee. We're working today in conjunction with the Illinois Democratic County Chairs Association to train Democrats all across the state, specifically at the local level, on how to run campaigns. The NDTC, our organization, was started a few years ago with the simple belief that any Democrat who's willing to stand up, who's willing to run for office, willing to step forward and help make change, should have access to the best practices, tools, resources to help them, whether that's city council, school board. Those best practices, experience, wisdom shouldn't be siloed off to just the campaigns that can afford it. The big sexy races for governor and Congress. And we believe, as does the County Chairs Association, that by helping every Democrat on the ticket, we are going to elect more Democrats to office. We're going to build a deeper bench for the future. And it's going to have an up-ticket effect that helps Democrats at every level.
Let me ask you. So, I mean, it's interesting because we train doctors, we train lawyers, and no one thought maybe we should train candidates. When you train people, and just are you basically at what level? Are you doing all levels? Are you doing mostly guys running for the state house, or are you doing the big U.S. Senate, U.S. Congress, and that too?
So we train at every level. The idea behind the National Democratic Training Committee is that we have built an online school at traindemocrats.org. It's available 24/7 for any Democrat anywhere to come on, take a course, learn how to run for office, have tangible skills, tangible resources and tools they can put to work immediately. We've had more than 17,000 people come onto that site and request training. That's school board, that's city council, that's everything at the local level. We work in conjunction with lots of states. We're working with all 50 state parties. We've held almost 42 of these trainings. Humbled to be with the Illinois Democratic County Chairs Association to put on live trainings. And the live trainings are designed to supplement and enhance what's all available online.
Let me ask you, just time short. What are the big priorities? Obviously, we think of money. Is money number one, or how would you prioritize it? And then let's talk a little bit. What does it cost to run for office at various levels?
Absolutely. So, the most important things we try to teach candidates is that you need a plan. First and foremost, you need to know what goals you have to hit to win. Then how are you going to hit those goals? So your first, most important numbers, how many votes do you need, right? Do you need 150? Do you need 10,000, 100,000? That's going to drive your budget. That's going to drive your fundraising. You can then develop your communications, your message, everything ties together. But if you're not tracking this plan, if you're not watching it over time, you don't know where you're going. This is like a small business started overnight. And for most of these candidates, when they run, it's a really big personal decision. They're willing to invest the time to do it right. We want to give them those tools so they're not just reinventing the wheel.
How do people run when they're an accountant, a lawyer? How do they do their day job and be a candidate?
It's a great question, and that's what a lot of candidates face, the challenge, right? We have lives, we have careers. The offices, when you're running for city council, when you're running for school board, they're not full-time jobs. You're not a full-time politician. You still have to work. You still have family at home. So we want to empower the candidates where they are. They can come home, have dinner, put the kids to sleep, and then take a course online and figure out how to, how many votes do I need? What is a finance plan? How do I raise money? And then put that to work, because they're juggling 2-3 jobs, right? Their career, their family, and running for office. They need to knock doors, recruit volunteers. You have limited time, you have limited money, you have limited people. We want to show you how to use those as effectively as possible to meet the goals you need to win.
Before we run out of time entirely,
Yeah.
So what kind of dollars? I had mentioned when I was covering the U.S. Senate 25 years ago, it was $6 million to get elected. I have no idea what it is now, maybe $30 million. But I mean, enormous sums, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
How do you train someone to ask for money, and to what extent has the internet changed fundraising?
So, there's a lot in there, a lot there. And how much money it requires to run for office depends on what you're running for. A U.S. Senate race is tens of millions of dollars, and it depends upon the media market, right? Running in Wyoming as opposed to Illinois, where you have Chicago, et cetera. What we teach people about fundraising is one of the most important things is your attitude. People think about fundraising as if it's something dirty, as if it's something immoral, if there's something wrong or shady about it, and there's not. What you're doing is you're getting the resources you need to win, to make the change that we all want to see. And so you need to approach fundraising with that attitude. You need to be talking to donors and realizing there are 3 ways people can help in your race, and they can give you your vote, they can give you their time, they can volunteer, or they can make a contribution. And if we want to change the system, we have to be in office to make those changes. So this is what it takes to win. These are how people want to help you. The other big piece is you're not your donor. You may not write checks to candidates. You may not write big checks, but people do. If you can convince them to invest in your race, to make a change, to empower them to help you. We all want a leader, right? We want people.
And the other thing I would say is these days with the internet, you can give $20, you can give $10, and sometimes they maybe won't give something because they think they got to give $500.
Right.
10 and 20 adds up, doesn't it?
A whole lot. The internet has democratized donating, right? You can take 10, 20. I can do it immediately. I can email my entire contact list of 300 people at the touch of a button. I don't have to call through. Now, you should call through, but you don't have to. But we also try to temper people's expectations. They're not Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, right? When you're running at the local level, you need to be asking for money online, but it's not going to fund your whole campaign.
Kelly Dietrich, we know you're busy. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.